Okay, that's Jeff Baxter's intro, glorious intro to Don't Stop to Watch the Wheels by the Doobie Brothers. Now, I hadn't thought about this song for 40 years. And way back when, I used to hang out with my close friend John Wardell, who's tragically no longer with us, who's probably the best guitar player I've ever met in my life. In fact, certainly was. And we would say, have you heard this? Have you heard this? You know, he'd come to my flat, I'd go to his flat. And we became friends, over music. And he was a lovely guy as well as being a fantastic guitar player. And I remember being at his flat one night and he said, have you heard this? It's a new Doobies album. It's the album that's got What a Fool Believes. So it's a transition from the rock and roll Doobies from China Grove to the sort of Michael McDonald era, which I'm sure we could talk about at length. Anyway, and we were both transfixed by this intro, and we were both massive Jeff Baxter fans, stroke fanatics. Fast forward to a couple of days ago, my friend Mark Anderson, the drummer, put a video up of Don't Stop to Watch the Wheels, and since then I've seen Alexander Stewart put a video up of it, and Mark said he saw Rick Beato talking about it. And it just popped right back into my head. So the Rick Beato video is very, three all incredibly accomplished musicians, Alexander Stewart, Mark Anderson, and Rick Beato, all talking about this song, and it just popped into my head. And I don't have the album, I've never had the album, but I listened to it on Mark's video, talking about it. And we had a brief conversation about it. So I thought, if anybody wants to know how to play that opening riff, lick, intro, I'll show you. That's assuming you don't know it already. Now, I can say right now, this is not one to be disheartened by, please. Now, you may play it just right off the bat, you just might go and rip it off. I didn't. I find this very hard to play because of the phrasing, because of the timing, because of the choice of notes, right? Now, Mark, as a drummer, said to me that he hears it as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And that will work, just like there are numerous ways to count the start of Zeppelin's rock and roll, but the right way is to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boom, So Mark said, I think, I'm paraphrasing, but I think that's how Mark said, that's how you count it. Now, on a different instrument, I don't hear it differently, but I would count it differently. So, the initial line, although it's played in the 5th position, it's in D, right? So the initial line, that, right? That's kind of like 4 notes, but it's a little snap. So it's an F note, pushed, and a high A. So I count that as 1, 2, 3, 4. Then a 3, which is D, C, A. So we've got, right, so we're up and running now. Then 1 G note. That's the next phrase, right? Now I hear that as a G, then a major minor, F tertiary, and then the same line that we played up here. So this time we've got, right? So far we've got, and honestly I would play it at that pace plenty of times. And just try and build up to the speed that Jeff does it. Now here's an interesting thing. Rick Beato suggested that he felt it was muted. If it was muted, I would imagine they'd have to use a lot of compression in the studio. What compression does, just in case you're not aware of this, and there's no shame in not doing anything. There's loads of stuff I don't know, so I just ask. Compression takes the quiet notes, makes them louder, takes the louder notes, makes them softer. In simple terms, it evens up playing. If you're playing, it's quite uneven, like mine. And I take solace in the fact that Gary Moore once said that he'd never tried to learn to play slow to fast. He'd never played one of his, He never played it slow and then built it up. He just went to fast straight away, you know. And I think Gary was, you know, a naturally rapid guy. And he then said, that's why I'm such an uneven player. So I would dispute that, because you know, Gary as well knows the greatest player ever. Back to Jeff Baxter, who is also one of the greatest players ever, right? If it were muted, we would have to go. That's much harder. That bit's easier to be muted. So it's up to you. If you're going to play this, you know, if you want to, I would listen to the record on headphones, and I don't own the record, so at the moment I'm not able to do that. But if you're going to mute it, I think it sounds better. I think it sounds better with the snap. And then this bit muted, right? So this is where we are now. Right, whoops. So that's the first two phrases, the 4, the 3, the G. Now comes two easier phrases. Right? This is A, C, D, F, G. You can mute that. And give that one maximum juice. Right? Then the same thing again. Mute and resolve. Right? So A to F to F sharp, A, D, C, A, G, F, F sharp, D, C, A. And then this A, C, D, F, G. F, G. Halfway up, same again. Mute, C, D. And the same thing in resolving. So that's it. I hope that is helpful for anybody who wants to play that intro. It's a sensational intro. And you know, thanks to Mark, thanks to Roberto, thanks to Alexander, who mentioned it and popped it into my head. So whether you mute it, which I would find pretty difficult, I find the whole thing pretty difficult, whether you want to mute it or whether you want to just play your way through it, that's it. Don't stop to watch the wheels go by the Dewey Brothers, by the legendary Jeffrey Skunk Baxter.